Hey, everybody. Just dropping in to give my thoughts on something related to all the upheaval, the rallies, the protests that are going on, and something I see quite frequently coming up, and it's a polarizing kind of topic. And yeah, just here to share and hopefully open up a conversation. I think what's really important when we talk and get into conversations is being open to being wrong, right? So I'm going to share my thoughts. As always, there's some good conversations that I see come out of these and would love to hear your thoughts. But the thing I want to talk about is this topic of defunding the police. So it's going on. I see it a lot of places, hashtags. There's even ones that I think are a little more extreme that say abolish the police. But I want to focus on defund the police with everything that's going on here. And so, what exactly does that mean? Defund the police. To me, and just so you know, I'm actually in favor of this thought, and I want to get into that. But what does it actually mean? To me, it does not mean to completely get rid of policing and get rid of police. I think this is that kind of abolish the police idea where it's like, well, we don't need police. I completely disagree with that. I think we do need police. I think it's a vital part of our system and our society. But I also do believe that it is one of the most problematic parts of our society as it stands today. So when we talk about defunding the police, I'm very much in favor of that. Why is that? Well, what I have done myself, and you can do this yourself. You can go and just do some basic searching around the budget of your city. How much does your city spend on things like the police, like social service, like standard government spending, social support for the city, and the other things like public works and things like that. Take a look. I encourage you to. Most cities should have this on file. It should be public record, right? And in my research, and I think it's pretty easy to take a look at, but most cities, the police budget is often the highest. I haven't actually found one in my just brief searching where the police budget was not the highest expense in a city. And for example, New York is in the I think around the $4 to $6 billion, depending. A lot of cities spend 25, even some getting close to 40 to 50% of their budget is on police. From what I've seen, so I obviously think this is incredibly problematic, right? Why would police be the largest part of most cities' budget? Certainly, we need to be protected, we need to be safe, but also, as we've seen with the rallies and protests, our police today look like a military force. They have body armor, they have weaponry and almost tank-like vehicles, and they are basically have all this equipment. A lot of this equipment has come from wars. It has been handed down to police from the army. And so, I obviously think this is extremely problematic as well. So there's actually a bill that is in place that says that the Army can hand down their weaponry and their tools to police forces, which again, why this is problematic. Why would a police force need military weaponry? I think I can think of some small edge cases, but it certainly should not be to use against people that are rallying and protesting for a cause. And often case, the people are peaceful, right? Again, blanket statement, not all protesters are good, right? There's some bad apples, just like not all police are bad, right? But back to my main point. Why are the budgets of our police so high? And I think there's a lot of reasons for that, but one could be, we are in this complex where we need to keep fueling these industries who make weapons that go to the military and that get recycled back into our police departments, right? I I do not think that the police should be militarized. But just going back to the budget conversation, why do our police forces have a much more larger budget than for, say, education, for social services, right? I heard a very good point on Twitter the other day, and it was that police can fix some problems. They can enforce the law. They can be there to stop violent criminals, and that is very necessary. But police can't fix everything. Police cannot fix racial inequality. They cannot fix the fact that many people in society can barely get by to live, that they can barely put food on the table, that they can barely get an education, that they can barely get a decent paying job. Police are not going to fix those things. And when you have all of those things combined, those things can create the fact that people can't get by and might resort to crime because they have nothing left. They have no other options, right? And this is because society has failed them. Increasing our police budget is not going to fix that. Increasing, giving police military weapons is not going to fix that. So I just wanted to leave that with you. Brief discussion on this. This one, yeah, could be talked about, but I am very much in favor of defunding the police, especially when you look at the budgets across the country. A lot of this money should be going towards social services, towards education, in my opinion, to helping people who cannot and have not been given the chance to thrive, because there are systems in place that make it harder for people of color to get by, again, to get a job, to get a good education, to easily put food on the table. So those are my thoughts there. I would love to have a conversation with you about it. Would love to hear your opinions about it. But I'm very much in favor of defunding the police, as I am of defunding the military. Our military budget is around $800 billion a year. I think it's slowly inching towards $1 trillion a year. And look at our police. It is very much, it looks very similar to our military budget, where our police budgets are far outweighing everything else in the country. Imagine if we could take the budgets for our military and police and put it into things that did good for people. And especially when we're talking about the military, stop killing people overseas. And for the case of our police, people are being killed by our police. So, yes, thanks again for watching. Would love to have a conversation with you about this. I'm very much in favor of defunding the police, and I think it should be given some thought. And I think these conversations are happening across the country, and they're happening because of these protests. They're happening because people have had enough, and I'm just very glad. In light of all the horrible things that are happening, people are starting to notice and starting to actually wake up to the fact that, yes, actually, things are not equal. Our society does not work for most people, especially most people of color, and it's got to change. So I'm hoping that this is something that can change within it, and along with, of course, a lot of other things. So again, thanks so much for watching. Love to have a conversation with you about it, whether it's here or wherever you watch this video. Thanks again, and talk soon.